This is showing, right?
He doesn't have the angle on. Oh my God! One is amazing.
It's back.
Greenberg is running. Bobby, sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong.
It's Fins Talk today, baby.
Fins up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Fins Talk today on the bandwagon crossover live here at the Stadium Hotel. I'm with the one and only Fish Tank Hank and FinStanza Posner, all the way over from Canada. You got to forgive us if this is live here. First time, no, the second time for me and Fish Tank, but first time overall, kind of doing it in this situation. So hopefully y'all could hear us. We're excited for you tuning in, Fish Tank. How you doing, my friend?
We just went out and had a nice dinner. It was great. We went to Amici's, had some nice Italian food. It's a good time. Spent some time with these two guys. Why, I don't know. But Junior, how about you?
I'm excited to be here. Happy I convinced Bobby to come with us. It's great. Yes, Thursday was my fault because I chose a different restaurant and we circled for about 15
That's
minutes.
true. That is
In the
true.
end, George Costanza pulled it off again. FinStanza screwed up again. So I apologize for the delay. But thank you, Ben, for watching Dolphins Thursday. Ray, Fortnite, Steve, everyone, Tati, thank you so much for being patient, and we're excited to be here tonight.
Fins up, everybody.
We're together as a family tonight. It's awesome.
The Three Stooges.
The Three Stooges is right.
Curly, Larry, Mo.
I'm Mo.
I'm Larry.
I'm Mo.
That's your generation. Anyway, so can everyone hear us okay?
Yeah, everyone hear us? Thirsty, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear us well.
She's hearing. She says we hear good. All right, good. We have our assistant producer today, Miss Kelly, watching in the back, letting me know everything's going well. So, my goodness, it's a big weekend for the Dolphins. A lot of Dolphin fans are flying into Miami to see the Panthers versus the Dolphins. It's fan club weekend, so we're all coming into the Epic. But also, Zach Thomas is being honored this weekend, which is going to be great for the Hall of Fame. I'm super excited. Before we get into the game, Fish Tank, start with you, then Evan. How are you feeling about this weekend overall?
I feel good about this weekend. It's going to be a big party.
That's right.
You asked me about the weekend. The weekend is going to be awesome. Southeast corner, come party. It's fun. We have a good time. Come on down and join me. Are you talking about the Panthers, though? How am I feeling against the Panthers? Or are you talking about
we're going to get into the Panthers. I was saying in general. I know how you're feeling about the Panthers. Evan, for just this weekend in general, you moving it up?
No, we're good.
Moving on up.
You want to slide it over?
We're good.
Slide it forward?
We're good.
Our producer wants to slide it over.
No.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So
that's no good.
Now you can't see me.
It's all right. I think it's about moving it while it goes, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. But this weekend overall, you traveled from Canada to be here. How are you feeling right now that this is going on? You got to meet Fish Tank in person, me in person. We just had an amazing dinner. Thank you, Hank.
Put him back in the screen.
I was trying to get the stadium. It's just ain't working.
It's all right.
I was going for the stadium.
We're live on location. But
always technical difficulties.
It's okay.
There we go.
He's big enough. You see the corner. The guy's a giant. I didn't know he was Andre the Giant. Anyway,
Giant Gonzalez.
But Giant Costanza. But how are you feeling, Andy? You make the flight down here. It's your birthday week, right?
Weekend, yeah, on Tuesday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
I hope the
birthday.
Dolphins get a win for you this weekend. But how are you feeling, man? You made this trip down here.
I'm feeling great. Like, as you know, Florida's my home away from home. Been coming here since I was a baby. So happy to be here with you too. The only person I'm concerned about, the only thing I'm just worried about is Jason Sanders. Everything else is going to be great. Everything else. I can't wait to go to boat campers with the fan club. Can't wait to tailgate with Fish Tank and Kelly and you. We're going to have a great time. That's my only concern. And I'm really proud. For the first time ever, my mom actually made a comment. So
Whoa!
that's awesome.
All right.
Awesome. So thank Thank you, Mom. No, I'm very, very excited. No, I can't wait. Honestly, this weekend has a great feel to it. When we talk about going to this game, to find out that Zach Thomas is being honored, it's fan club weekend, the feel, the ambiance, it's just phenomenal. Like, this is just going to be a phenomenal weekend.
So like I said, a big party.
Huge party. So, are you spoiling us? You're saying that you're worried about Jason Sanders?
No,
are you trying to
that
say
was
the
a
game's going to
joke.
be close?
No, I personally like it. No, not at all.
What are you trying to say,
No,
bro?
I'm going to be giving Jason Sanders a pep talk because you and I are sitting near the Dolphins tunnel, and when he comes out, I'm going to go, Jason, I came all the way from Canada. Don't F it up. He did cut me off in traffic once.
He's going to be hard on him, huh?
Oh, man.
All right.
Difficult.
So let's talk about this game.
Yeah, let's talk
about it, okay? Because
let's get into the meat and bones.
let's get to the meat and bones. While we get to meat and bones here, let's start off with what we're missing, okay? Because we know how talented this offense is, this Dolphins team, but we're missing some key pieces on Sunday. Devon Achane, who I think has a legitimate shot to win Rookie of the Year this year, the way he's been playing.
Yeah, the only problem is he's going to be out a few weeks.
For 4 weeks.
They say several weeks, but what does that mean?
Yeah,
you know?
it could be 4. It could be. We know it's 4 weeks, but it could be more.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're just trying to be precautionary. That's the hope. But he's out this weekend. Before we move forward to the other guys who are out on Sunday, Fish Tank, Achane, with him being out, is that a cause for concern on Sunday for the Dolphins?
No, I don't see any concern. You got Mostert back there. You got Wilson, right?
Wilson is not playing.
Doubtful.
He's doubtful.
He's doubtful.
But Savon Ahmed is going to play.
Ahmed,
Mostert.
I'll take him all day long. I'll take him as long as you have those two key backs back there. I think we'll be fine. I don't see any issues. What do you think?
I think Ingold's going to play a bigger role. He's going to play. For me, I think it will be a little more of a pass-heavy game because I think they still have a little bit of concern with Mostert about handling the football because the last 2 games he's dropped the ball 3 times.
He's been a little loosey-goosey.
So he's been a little loosey-goosey. So I do see, who knows if Chase Claypool, but I do see some Tyreek Hill coming out of the backfield in this game. I do see him end arounds. I see that happening a lot more in this game. But no, for me, you're going to talk about who's out. I'm more concerned about who's out on the offensive line than I am about who's in the running back. So Connor Williams being out again, inconsistency with him out because what happened 2 weeks ago when he wasn't playing and people announced the fact that he was the one calling the plays on the offensive line, and I had said that he's actually more, even with all his snapping issues, he's more valuable right now to this offensive line for consistency perspective because Kendall Lamb is able to do the job that Teron Armstead's able to do and able to hold the fort down.
Yes.
Liam Eichenberg is not Connor Williams as a blocker and as an experienced offensive lineman. So that does give me some pause. But that just means they're going to have to get rid of the ball fast, and at least they're not facing a juggernaut team. Like, for me, Connor Williams is, if he's back for the Eagles game, but if he's not there for the Eagles game against that front 7, then I'll be very concerned.
That's a great point. Because Kendall Lamb, we know, is a serviceable left tackle.
Absolutely.
But we don't have a serviceable center for Connor. And Connor's very, very important. I mean, he showed that. Now, the credit, though, we're not facing Buffalo. We're facing the Panthers.
Yeah,
right, Fish Tank?
Yeah, you got to at least, look at this. The glass is always full, people. It's never half empty. You know what I mean? Everybody always says half empty.
Unless you're listening to Brett Lagasse.
It's never half empty. Because even if it's halfway with water, it's still filled the other half with air. So it's always completely full. So it's always full. You know what I mean?
Silver lining.
Sounds like me.
So that's what we're talking about. There is a silver lining.
Absolutely. Well, this is what I wanted to touch on today because we as Dolphin fans, looking at this football team, I want to touch on defense, and I know because you've been bringing that up a lot, and it's very fair and it's so true because you had a lot of high expectations with this defense before the season, top 10.
Yeah.
Now you always keep it up. You keep it out there, and you're like, hey, no, this defense is not playing top 10.
No, they're not.
So, with the way the defense has been playing, is there any reason for Miami to be concerned? Because it's fair for fans to overlook the Panthers. I don't think it's fair for the Dolphins as a team to overlook the Panthers. We know we got the Eagles coming up.
Yeah.
But the Panthers is this week. This could be a trap game for the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's what they call it, a trap game if you lose to a crap team. And I don't think that the Panthers are on the same level the Miami Dolphins are. I hate to say it, and I don't like to badmouth any team. But because I like the NFL as a total, regardless of who's what team, unless you're New England. Did I say that out loud?
A little bit.
Oh, all right. Sorry about that. No, I'm not. Okay. So, anyway, like I said, I like what we're doing. I like what our defense is going to do. I think that they can hold up on the Panthers. I don't see the Panthers. The Panthers don't really have much of anything going on for them right now, unfortunately.
No. So that's what I was going to ask you. Is there anybody, because we know that McCaffrey's gone, San Francisco, DJ Moore, Chicago. You know, Bryce Young, he's a rookie. It's what it is. But is there anybody on the Panthers offense that
Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen, that's it.
Adam Thielen. Chuba Hubbard will do what he needs to do, but it's all about Adam Thielen.
But is it enough for
No.
even the Dolphins defense to not?
No, they can hold him. If you look at last game, they really didn't even give up a touchdown. The defense was a little leaky at different points because the biggest concern for them is that we'll see with Bryce Young how he does.
Mobile quarterbacks.
Mobile quarterbacks. He's a mobile quarterback, so I'm not that concerned. But I think Bryce Young going against one of his guys he looked up to in Tua, I think that it will be a little too big for him. That's going to be a little
That's
bit
true.
Bridges, right?
That's
Like if you
fair.
saw him during his press conference, he spent a while praising Tua. Like he learned a lot from Tua. Tua mentored him. He's been in touch with him during his draft year. What was it like? So for me, I'm not worried about the Panthers in that sense. It's more about the Dolphins just putting in a statement game because last game against the Giants, they probably didn't play as well because Fish Tank and Kelly weren't there, so they weren't motivated. But that game, they sort of, even though you knew it was never in doubt that they were going to lose, the mistakes were there, and they kept them in the game. Like if you don't, I can't remember them scoring an offensive touchdown. It was more caused by us with the 102-yarder. So, like the comment that Eric made, are we going to give up a touchdown? I actually think that it's going to be a slobber knocker, as Jim Ross loves to say. I don't think that the game is going to be over pretty quickly, but it's all about sticking to your plan. Like I want to see Tua because I believe it will be a pass-heavy game. Throw to where you know someone is open. Don't force it into two deep safety. Don't throw it to Tyreek Hill where he's being triple covered. Like if you saw last game, where was Berrios? Like where? Like he went to Waddle, but he went to Hill way too much, and it was sort of like a reflection against a bad team about going to the same guy you go to all the time. This game, similar to the Denver game, you should be spreading the ball around. Spread the ball around and use all of your weapons. Where was Jordan Smythe last game? Like if you noticed last game, it was really about Tua, Hill, and Achane. Everyone else was sort of like complementary.
They got to get everybody involved.
Yeah.
They got to get everybody involved.
Yeah, they have to play a complete game, you know, and that's what Miami continues to just fail at. It's either offense is great or offense isn't that good, and defense is better. And you know, it's been like this for over a year now, where they aren't playing complementary football within the team. You know, you got your defense firing on all cylinders this day. You got your offense firing on all cylinders on the next time. So it's never complementary. And one time that it was when they played the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
That was complementary football. And unfortunately, it seems at this point in the time of the season, did they blow all their talent? I mean, they're slowing down.
He's
You
laughing
know?
at
No, Malloy, right? Wait, I'm listening to Real Talk. No, you're not. You're just jealous you're not here, Malloy. But Adam, don't forget, if you're going to be at the game, also come to the southeast entrance in the orange section. There's going to be big tailgating. We've got great food going on this Sunday.
Absolutely.
Have a good time.
But no, and to Fish Tank's point, and guys, let me just say this very quick. Forgive us. Again, this is live. We're doing it on a kind of different. I don't have my laptop. So if you're in the comments, thank you so much for tuning in on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Smash that like and subscribe button. You got the great Fish Tank Hank, Evan Posner, FinStanza in the house, Bobby Finstalk here live in Miami. You can't see it. We're at the Stadium Hotel. The stadium's right there. I'll lift the phone up in a second to show you. But so put your comments there, and we'll get Evan to go through some of those key ones so we can respond to them. But the Fish Tank's point, the Dolphins have not really played a complete game, minus against Denver, which they should have played a complete game.
Yes.
The Giants should have been as well, but they didn't. Sunday, I say tomorrow, it's Sunday, because I'll do FinStalk today. It's always on Saturday, so I'm confused right now. It's Friday night.
It's all right.
That's all right.
That's why we had to have this special
crossover
tonight.
episode.
It's kind of a weird one for me. I'm a little jittery now all of a sudden.
It's all this energy. But tomorrow should be a game where the Dolphins play a complete football game. Offense, defense, special teams. There's no reason why that the Dolphins should lose this game tomorrow, that the defense should not shut down Carolina's offense. We know what the offense can do.
Yeah.
We had a lot of high expectations for this offense, but not this high. I mean, this is historic. Historic, Fish Tank. Defense, high expectations, but not meeting it. Tomorrow should be a day, or it's a Sunday should be a day they do meet it.
You know how many times I said last year, how are they going to cover everybody? How are they going to cover
I said that a
everybody?
lot last year.
How are they going to cover everybody? This is
Switch it up.
happening. It is happening
You're
now.
a year ahead.
I was a year ahead. I was too early.
You were too early.
That's what my mom said when she smacked me in the head.
But,
Get out of here.
too early. Evan, why don't you go through some of the comments? Any questions?
Steve writes, Thirsty, be careful of those guys. They look a little shady. Fortnite. Panthers have 14 sacks on defense. The Dolphins have 17. That's a good point. Our defense has not been doing a great
Brian
job.
Burns is still there.
Yeah, Ray Finkel, he wants to know, Hank, who's watching your cat?
Oh.
Adam's going to be at East 32 tailgate.
Let's go one at a time.
Okay,
That's
who's watching the cats? Well,
Hector.
Hector's watching the cats, says Kelly, who's off camera. And I want to say to Hector, thank you very much, Hector. We appreciate you looking after Little Ghost and Petey Squeak, Tyreek, Cheetah Hill.
Josh Wright saying look down by the pool. I guess we have to look at the pool. I don't know where he is. He must be here.
All right.
Thirsty's going to meet us tomorrow. Eric, Thirsty didn't want to hang out with us tonight.
We'll see Thirsty
He
tomorrow.
wants to see us in the crowd. We're going to see him at Boat Campers tomorrow.
At the pool, yeah.
Bearded Fanatic, going great, Steve. I feel good Clockbusters this morning. That was dope. That was cool. Bearded Fanatic's in there. Just everyone having a good time.
And let me just.
Somebody's going to call the cops soon.
I just met a couple guys tonight, and I want to mention them because that's who's down at the pool.
Oh, the guys downstairs. There you go.
I
Hit
met
him
a
up.
couple guys tonight. One guy's name is Ben. One guy's name is Josh.
Fins up, Ben and Josh.
Fins up, and they also had another gentleman with them who had an accent, which was really cool.
Eh?
No, it wasn't a Canadian accent. I said it was a cool accent. So, anyway, like an English accent.
The wife was Rachel.
So,
Rachel.
my point is, I wanted to say to Tom, we appreciate you and Rachel
Fins
also.
up.
Fins up. Rachel's a great fan.
There you go.
She is awesome.
Fins up, Rachel.
She
I
lets
tried
people
inviting
know.
myself tonight. You could have invited yourself Thursday. I would have come picked you up in the band. You know what's ironic? I realized why they gave me a van. Because I drive the bandwagon.
There you go.
There
Hey.
you go. My rental car's a minivan. I didn't ask for it, but they gave it to me.
Yeah, that's why you got the minivan.
So
Bandwagon.
we touched on Devon Aitchen.
The van
I
wagon.
think we're going to be. It sucks that we lost him because we know he's special, and I don't think
That's so
not a
Dolphins.
homer opinion,
I blame Chris.
right?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a homer opinion.
No.
You know we have fun with that. That's to say Devon Aitchen
I
is
would
special.
love to call you a homer.
I know you would more than anything, but it's not right because we know he is a special player. I mean, it's not just his speed. You could go, oh, he's very fast.
Yeah.
No, you're selling him short.
He sparkles.
He sparkles. Patience, vision. He waits for the hole to open up. He hits the hole. I mean, you watch this kid. He plays like a veteran. And again, you remember how I told you a few weeks back when you put it as a bandwagon title? Mozart and Aitchen equal Tyreek and Jalen. But you would think maybe the veteran is the better player. No. Aitchen equals to Hill
Yes.
when he plays running back.
Yes.
So it is a huge
Great point.
it is a big loss.
Yeah.
Because of how special he is. But Miami's running game, if you remember, not the second week because they came away from the run. Well, no, the second week. It was the first week. But before Aitchen even got his sense of the field, it was still very good. That's why I'm not really worried about the running game. What I am concerned with is what Evan brought up. Connor Williams is out.
Yes.
That sucks because
Yeah.
the defense of Carolina, they got some good players on there. They really do. And again, that is an overlooked situation. You can't overlook their defense because it could end up biting you in the butt.
You know, on the flip side of that, you have Eichen Zonberg, who is like one of those little red pylon cones you put there, and he'll block more than what he does. I'm concerned about him being our center, but you know what? he's at least got some experience now.
True. Fair.
So, whereas before he didn't have experience, and he's not going against the best defense in the NFL either. So, there's a couple key points to make in there, of course, but overall, I don't see any problems.
Absolutely.
But it's actually a good thing he may be playing this week, because if he forced Connor Williams to play with an injury and he aggravates it more, just imagine Liam Eichenberg playing against the front seven of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I wouldn't like that.
Holy bananas.
I wouldn't like that.
So
That's
that would
why.
work.
What's going on? Is Jalen Phillips playing tomorrow? Do we know that? That's
He's not confirmed. He's not out, so if you think he's going to play.
I know that.
But if he plays, let me ask you this question. If he plays, who do you sit, Van Ginkel or Chubb? I said Chubb.
Show. I don't know if he would sit. You probably get rotational.
Yeah.
But I would not. Ginkel would not sit.
Especially
Not one bit.
Especially if he's coming off an injury, you'll probably get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that rotational situation going. But Van Ginkel, again, you talk about impact player on offense, which is Achin right now. Obviously it's Tyreek, but Achin, Van Ginkel's equal to Achin on defense. He's just as impactful on defense, despite any complaints we have about the Dolphins' defense. Van Ginkel is not one of them, and he's on a one-year deal. Do we all agree that they definitely need to re-sign this guy?
I'd re-sign him over Wilkins.
Right? I mean, and I love Wilkins. I love his energy, but he is more impactful than Wilkins. Would you prioritize Van Ginkel over Wilkins right now?
Van Ginkel would be a much cheaper option
Yeah.
for the Miami Dolphins, and they're already going to be like $23 million over the cap next year. So they're
we
going to
have a
have
first
to
round
make some moves somewhere, and paying Wilkins a truckload of money like he wants isn't going to happen. That's not going to happen because Greer just won't do it. He'll go out and draft somebody for that position instead.
He would rather. You're right. He would rather probably draft a player or trade for another player,
or
than extend
somebody
his own
that
guy.
has a history of injury.
That's right.
We have not.
There's our Greer jab.
We have not re-signed a defensive lineman that we have drafted. I think like in 16 years. It's not what the Miami Dolphins do. So I don't see
Zach Sealer.
They didn't draft him.
Oh, we didn't draft. You're talking about
I just said.
I can't hear you. You gotta talk a little louder.
Me of all people.
I know. Yeah, I don't know.
No, we have not re-signed. We have not re-signed a D lineman that we have drafted in like 16 years. It's a very rare thing that we do. We treat defensive linemen like we do running backs on this team. We treat them as things that are easily replaced. We focus on the edge rusher. We focus on the corners. We focus on the receivers. We don't focus on that particular position. So for me, I'm not too concerned.
Any comments or questions that we should address or statements?
No, tomorrow the fan event. That's Thursday. We're seeing Bearded. My invite got lost in the mail. Manny, you have my phone number, buddy.
No, hey,
I gave you my digits.
Manny, I'm gonna
Evan with cart blockers.
Evan, give me your number. I'm gonna reach out to you because for East 10th Street Boys on Monday night. I'm extending an invitation to you for that one because I definitely want you to be involved with that if possible.
Time to draft. The Duke is saying something you'll disagree with. Time to draft the center next year and move William back to left guard because you're already saying he's already used to being center. Bearded, could someone get that lady some water? I don't know if I guess he's talking about you.
No, she was coughing.
Oh,
Miss Kelly.
Rude. And then was Claypool signed to the roster or practice?
No,
so
you're
sorry.
good,
It's
Kelly.
been like 2 weeks.
It's
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Was Claypool signed to the roster or practice squad or any roster squad? No, he's on the roster.
Yeah.
And is this a chosen revenge game, according to
Oh, that's a good point. Well, what about Claypool? What do you think Claypool does this Sunday?
Thank you,
I don't know if he's
podcast
playing.
lady.
We don't
He's still learning the
Who
playbook,
nobody
so maybe
sees.
he'll get a few snaps.
a few snaps, but nothing impactful.
Well, like I said, last game, in the game that we should have dominated, you didn't see Chosen, you didn't see Barrios, you didn't see Smythe. You saw very, very rare things. The only thing you knew that it was really about Tua and the defense. And one thing I found really interesting last game is the fact that we had 7 sacks, but I must say it was the most underwhelming 7-sack game I've ever had in my life.
You're never happy, are you?
I'm always happy.
Leader of the bandwagon, Mike. You're
No, I
never
love my
happy.
team. No, what I find very frustrating, now you made me lose my train of thought. The one thing that did bother me, that I did say last year, is that something the offense did that bothered me a little bit, but they didn't have a lot of sustained drive, so you got dominated in the time of possession.
Definitely.
Like, I definitely think that was the kind of game that by middle of the third quarter, he was driving back to Orlando. So I was not that, but no, for me, this should be a statement game. Plus, I'm in the building. Just imagine the overreaction of how if let's say we're not winning, if we're not winning by 21 by the half, I'm going to that tunnel and telling them they all suck.
Oh Lord.
Oh, jeez.
I
Oh,
hope.
my
I hope.
goodness.
I mean, I know the Dolphins are going to win, but I hope they do because I don't know. I'll probably walk back to the Hialeah if they lose. I will not stick around.
You know we love the band. Right? It's awesome. No, honestly, this has to be a statement game because you don't want to have. Like honestly, like I said this to you before last night, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Broncos, but it wasn't that impressive. The Dolphins have had some impressive performances, but they have to play well against this team. Like they have to sort of treat it like the reason why people have been high on, say, Josh Allen this season. He didn't have a great game against the Jets, but when he had to go face the Commanders or he had to go face the Raiders, he destroyed them. You have to dismantle your competition to give you a sense of confidence. Like Tua needs to be back in the MVP conversation by the end of the week. The defense has to get turnovers, and also one thing that's going to happen this Sunday, they're finally going to win the turnover battle because the last 2 weeks has been very hard to watch them consistently giving up the football in really bad positions.
I will say I want Fish Tank to go on here and just say what I want to say very quick, just to respond
Jason
to that.
Sanders MVP.
I know about the statement game, but my other thing is I don't want a situation where it's like we're with Denver. Say you get on this huge high, you win whatever. Now it's obviously going to be 70 points, but you win this bait, and then you go against the Eagles and you lay an egg. Just get the job done. Play a complete game like Fish Tank says. Get it done. Carolina doesn't have to be something fancy. Get everybody out. Don't be celebrating after the game. Just get right to that locker room. Get ready for Philly.
Yep.
You want to respond to anything, Fish Tank?
Yeah, you just made my point right there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Damn.
I have a point. You know what my goal is?
What?
I think Mike McDaniel's goal was not to have the greatest offense after 5 games. It was to have the greatest offense after 6. That's what he planned for. So I expect the Dolphins they're going to announce a record. The Dolphins now have the greatest record after 6 games. That's what they expect. Or if not, because if they have an egg game, they're going to say, well, the Dolphins have the best record after 5 games, but after 6, it's the Rams. Like, we need to stay on this trajectory. There has to be a sense of the offense has to continue to be the dominating factor, because one thing we have learned about the defense is it's going to take a long time for them to gel. And I personally think this defense is not going to hit its gear and I don't mind it waiting that long as as the offense stays at that point, is when Ramsey gets back. I think that's the linchpin of that. The same way Tua not being there completely negates the offense. Jalen Ramsey not being there is the linchpin of the whole plan was to have the 3 cornerback set, him covering the tight end when it was going to be against Kelsey or against another powerful against Waller. Like last game, if it was Ramsey playing in that game, Waller would have had no receptions. That's the key piece. He's the linchpin of that defense, and he's not there. And I think that's one of the things that they haven't gotten over yet. They were relying. I think they had that sense of reliance on Jalen Ramsey. Personally, there's a sense there. Go ahead, Fish Tank.
Yeah, there's a sense there, but at the same time, I think that Miami could hit its peak when they go up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Their defense might hit their stride there. But if they don't hit it against the Kansas City Chiefs, it's got to come after the bye. So I'm hoping that they go into Kansas City and they just put so much into it that they go 200% and blow all they got all in one shot and hit them up hard. I want to see them win that game. I have faith since the beginning of the season that they're going to win that game. And the defense is my only concern at this point in time, because I thought we had a better defense than the Kansas City Chiefs. But now it's not really looking that way. So hopefully we do have a better defense.
I want to respond very quick to what Evan was saying, and that was about, being the best offense in 6 weeks and going that one by. I know, but I want to say, to me, it's like, look, I think, and I know where you were going from, but for me, the Miami Dolphins, I hope they're not doing. Fans are different, because I would love for them to have 500, 600 yards and keep doing this, but it has to be a win.
Yeah,
I don't want. If you have 600 yards, you had a great game, and somehow the Panthers still beat you, it won't matter a damn thing to me that you're the number. It's just like in the end, if the Dolphins end up being the greatest offense at the end of this in NFL history, Fish Tank and Evan, and they get eliminated in the playoffs in game 1, or they don't win a chip, that supposed to matter to us?
Yeah.
Top
If
finish.
they get eliminated in the playoffs,
Yeah. If
wild
they get,
card.
if they get eliminated in the wild card playoffs, the Miami Dolphins suck.
Well, that's my point. No, what I was saying was, should it matter to us if they're the number one offense? If it didn't get us where we needed to be, it didn't matter a damn thing.
No,
It's just pretty.
I'm at the point now where I'll be disappointed if they don't win the division. And the reason I say that is because Buffalo has to face the exact same teams you have to face, right? They have the same division opponents. And the big difference this year is that in December, they're spending most of their time on the road. We're spending most of our time at home.
That's right.
So the Miami Dolphins right now have a game ahead. If they don't dominate this game and at least keep a leg up on the Bills heading into by the time they get to the bye, if they're equal or less than the Bills somehow, that's a disappointing first half of the season, and it's going to be a tough stretch going towards the rest of the season. The Dolphins have to head into that bye a game or at least a game or two ahead of the Bills.
And the other thing is, like Evan was saying, I believe 4 of our last 5 games are at home.
That's huge.
That
huge.
is, especially in December, forget
And
about
that
it.
isn't that one of the we talk about measuring stick games for Miami. There's Tua's answered a lot of questions last season, this season so far, really showing out.
And
with
he
the
answered
weapons he
a
has.
lot of questions about his health so far, too.
So far,
I just want to point that out there.
The jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, right? People make fun about but look how smart he's being with falling and also running with the football. He's not taking any hits. He's sliding. He's protecting himself. That's important. One of the other questions besides his health this season is playing in December. That's another question. You can play great in the first 2 weeks, 10 weeks or whatever in football. It's the end of that stretch that counts.
Yeah.
And what's going to help him is being at home, because that's the next one. Can you win in December? Because that's going to help you get deeper into the play or get you a better chance in the playoffs. Let me start with you, Fish Tank. For Sunday's game, what are the 3 keys to secure a Dolphins victory against the Carolina Panthers?
It's simple. If our defense shows up, I don't think that the Panthers have enough offense to get it done if our defense shows up. I just don't think they have enough firepower with just Thielen being their only shot, really. So shut him down.
Yeah.
There you go. Shut him down. Shut him down. Contain the quarterback. And we'll have to also, if our offense is going, I think that Tyreek Hill. No, let me take that back. I think that Claypool could be a surprise show and pick up a lot of yards. I'm expecting at least 4 receptions out of him.
Okay. Well, all right, there you go. 3 keys to secure a Dolphins victory, FinStanza.
Simple. Bobby at the game, Hank at the game, and Stan at the game. They can't lose.
What about
That's all we needed to know. Hardy. And Hardy.
Can't lose. In all seriousness, key to the game, win the turnover battle.
Yep.
You utilize all your weapons, like spread the ball around.
Yeah.
And Jason Sanders kicking a 55-yard field goal.
Let me tell you something.
Imagine he loses.
If he misses it, if this game is on
Don't
the
get
shoulder,
violent. I'm in the middle.
I know.
All right?
Going into the half.
If this game,
Going into the half.
if this game is relying on Jason Sanders for any reason, put the blame on the team, not on Jason Sanders.
I'm
No
kidding.
reason why
Yeah.
the Panthers should be in this football.
I'll make a prediction. The key
God
to the
help
game.
us.
No, key to the game. Don't let Jake Bailey punt, because that showed that you've dominated the game. Because that muff punt last week, he can stay on the bench on a white uniform, no problem. Because I think Jake Bailey's punt. I think we played 5 games. He's punted like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You have to have sustained dominating drives, and you have to also, if you're kicking off, you can't let the other team have the ball for a sustained period of time. Quick 3 and out, because that's what happened last game. They kicked off the ball to the Giants, and it was a long first drive. They didn't score, but it was a long first drive. And but for me, it's all about the turnovers. Like, we're going to be sitting next to each other. You're going to hear me lose my mind if Mostert drops a ball. If Mostert drops a football,
You're never gonna hear the
Oh.
end.
Wait, let me ask you something.
I got
all of you-
earplugs, brother. I got it.
to all of you, what's going to happen? How would you feel being around me if they somehow don't win by 30?
If the game
The
is
bandwagon-
whatever, let me tell you something. If this game, again, if it's the last 2 seconds of the game, 28-30 or 31-28, God help us, Miami over Carolina, or no, Carolina over Miami, and Jason Sanders has to kick that field goal, and Jason Sanders kicks it and misses it, by the time you turn around to scream at me about what's going on, I'm already gone. I will not stay for
Can you just imagine
He
Jason
will not
Sanders?
stanza for that.
I will
all right?
not stanza for it. I'm out of
Could you
here.
imagine Jason Sanders walking into the tunnel if I'm standing there and he misses a field goal?
And you're 7'4" ass jumping off the
I will be in Miami Gardens Penitentiary. Telling them
Leave the keys. I'll take
No,
them.
no. By the way, but I will say that I'm not impressed by a lot of the teams in the AFC. The Dolphins could put a stamp on being the biggest beast in the East, the biggest beast in the AFC, if they win, if they dominate this football game. Because Kansas City may have 5 wins, but they have not. One win has been dominating. You go in and you dominate the Panthers and you show your might. Last game, people still believe in the Dolphins because the game wasn't in doubt, but it did put a little bit of doubt in the fact that some of the decision making that Tua made. But the one thing I was impressed by Tua is that Tua 2 years ago, before McDaniel, would have gone back to the bench afraid to be yelled at or ignored. Now he's smiling, engaging with Dexter Lawrence. Like he was laughing about, oops, I made a mistake. Okay, you got me this time. You jabbed me. It is what it is. There's a sense of looseness on this team, and that's what I love about
That
it.
starts with the coach.
Yeah.
That's the difference right there.
Yep.
My keys to the victory is...
He's on his way to the stadium right now. You know, he goes to the stadium at 2 a.m. He's on his way to the stadium right now.
I'm sure he is. My keys to victory is obviously protecting the football. You know, just protecting the football. Keeping a balanced attack. I know you're talking about high power flying with the passing
I have a
game.
feeling he's going to do it.
I think the best thing to do, just because you got to get these guys ready for the next 4 weeks, and you got to get them ready for the week after. You got to make sure that they're hot this week so they stay hot next week. Run the ball, pass it, protect the ball, win the turnover battle. And then again, this has to be a complete football game. Offense, defense, as Fishtank has said. This game, there should be no. At the end of this game, we should say, "Damn, man, the defense did really good tonight."
Yeah.
Offense did good today.
But I expect Savon Ahmed, because in the preseason he looked great because Achan was injured. He wants to re-cement his spot on this team. I would give him the rock a lot more. I give him a balance. I give him a balanced attack with Mostert because I think he needs to. Because he goes for long runs. If you realize his average run total last year, even though he didn't have that many runs, was the highest average on the team. Meaning that he does get sustained runs. He likes to run on the outside. He doesn't like running straight through the middle, but he does have speed. Even though he doesn't run a fast, he has deceiving speed as a running back.
And don't sleep on Chris Brooks. Don't sleep on Chris Brooks.
Yeah, no.
He played some fullback last week. I mean, he's a football player. He's not just a running back. He's a football player. And I would not be surprised if by the end of Sunday, Fish Tank at tailgate at the end there, that we're talking about Chris Brooks having a bigger impact on this offense.
Yeah.
Fish Tank. We don't have the hat. You can pretend to put on a hat.
Yeah.
Put on your Miss Cleo hat
Where
on.
is my hat? You don't want to do that. I'm pretty sweaty.
I'm putting it right here.
Okay.
All right. Prediction, score, and who wins and what's the final score?
Who wins?
Jeez.
It's going to have to be. Notice I'm trying not to move here.
I know.
It's gonna go right over the balcony.
It's
My yarmulke.
yeah, I'll just throw my head
It's
backwards magically, right?
Throw it out.
No, it's going to be the Miami Dolphins are going to win. And I think that the Panthers, any team can get a couple scores,
Of
okay,
course, yeah.
on any defense. But if Miami allows more than 14 to 21 points, I would be really disappointed as far as on defense. They got to hold them to around 14.
Okay.
You know, so that's why I'm going to say 14 for them. And the Miami Dolphins offense should just explode on the scene again. So I'm going to give them a 38.
38. All right. FinStanza. Enjoy that nice wet on your head.
That doesn't bother me.
Slide it
2,
on.
3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. What up, gang? Enjoy the win this weekend. Hope you see Waddle 10 catch 1 yard. Since he is number 17, I think I'm born on the 17th. He's gonna have the biggest game as a wide receiver. He's gonna have a very big game.
I know they were trying to get him involved last week. And again, it was like last season. And I know we're the prediction part of this, but last season it was kind of like, man, what's up with Waddle? What's going on? Kind of starting the same way this year.
Yeah,
there's something going on there. I just don't know what it is.
Well, he had that injury, and they never really said what was going on with that whole injury.
Yeah, that's true.
They never pointed out this is his injury. Blah 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 blah. They just gave you a vague answer. Yeah, and he was out for a while.
There's something going on with that. So I hope you're right. I hope he's in for a big game. That'd be awesome to see.
That would be awesome.
But what's your score, your prediction and score?
Since it is the 10th month of the year, the Panthers are going to get 10.
Okay.
All right. Representing Tyreek Hill in the 10th month of the year.
Okay.
Miami Dolphins are going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touchdowns. It's going to be 49-10. So I don't have to see Jason Sanders kick 1 field goal, just 7 extra points. 49-10.
All right, so there you go.
Hey, give us a dose of reality over here.
I knew you were coming.
Oh man,
there's some reality. Here's my side. No, so
49-10.
Dolphins are going to win. Obviously, I don't think that's a crazy prediction for any of us. Dolphins win 45-23. 45-23.
If they give up 23 points, I will not be happy.
45-23.
Hey,
a win is a win.
Like I said, any team on any Sunday can make 3 scores.
That's right.
So if they get as much as 21,
I know you don't like that.
I'll be on the edge. I won't have much faith in the defense for the Eagles. That's for sure. Yeah. So, but we better be seeing at least around 14.
Miami can have a complete game here. They could afford. You obviously have to have a complete game against the Eagles.
Yeah.
You got to be on top of your game, defense and offense. This might be an offensive firepower game, and the defense gives up 23 points, and you go, well, damn, the defense still not did it. But if they come back next week, and let's say whatever it is, 28-24 Miami, but the defense held up, then I'm going to be happy.
Someone's on the bandwagon. So Hammer Time got a 34-23. 23423 has a 38-17. Eric has a 34-17, and the host of Real Talk.
Whoa!
Ready for this?
Go for it.
He must be following in my footsteps. 45-10.
Whoa! So, but he's for 45. But we both said 45, but he's going with 10.
He went 10 because he's listening to me. He's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Oh, is that what it is?
Everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Somebody's drinking something.
Putting those 40 burgers up there.
Ray Finkel, 73-10.
What is the score for Ray?
73-10.
73. Oh, wow. Can you imagine?
Josh Wright, 46-6.
Kelly Sand going.
Josh down there, 46-6.
46-6 for Josh. Guys, first off, this is not the end of it. We're in Miami. FTSA, we'll be with Rob tomorrow at Bo Campers. We'll tailgating. We've got pregame at the stadium at the tailgate. We'll do postgame. We're going to be all hanging out. It's jambalaya. We're going to have a blast.
Fried chicken.
We've got a lot of live content coming. We're going to have a lot of fun. Fish Tank, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, it's great having you guys here. We're going to have a great weekend. I know you're familiar with here. You're familiar with here. Me, I just come here and party every time and forget how to get to the last place I was. So. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's great. I think our team is on a trajectory of going up right now, and it also goes by the teams that they're playing. But remember, we started out supposedly being the second hardest schedule in the NFL. Well, guess what? We're starting to hit our stride, and watch out. You don't know what's going to happen against those Eagles yet.
Absolutely, 100%. Again, last year Miami started 3-0, then they went 0-3. They're 4-1 right now, so they've already cracked last year.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts? The Miami Dolphins are in a great position right now. They're having yet to play outside the Denver game, which was just we've yet to see something that really amazes us with that team. So, and we're 4-1. We're right now the best team in the East with Kansas City, and we're doing it with not a great defense. We've made a few mistakes on offense, but we're still being able to overcome it. Someone once told me that the Dolphins falling behind in a game are struggling in a game or losing a bad game, that might let them eat inside and they struggle. Not this team. They had a bad game in Buffalo. They came back. Did they make some mistakes? Sure. But the game was never in doubt against the Giants.
Yeah.
So for me, this is just going to be a phenomenal weekend. This is going to be they're going to feel it. Like this stadium is going to be rocking with the fan club the weekend. Like the amount of people that are going to be in there who are truly Homer fans, with the exception of Bobby, we're all going to be having a blast.
Well, you're going to have a happy birthday weekend.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm
having Victory Friday before the game even starts. Victory Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be phenomenal. I started Victory Monday already.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm on Victory Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I've been on Victory for quite a while now, and I'm not used to this. That's a lot of partying.
That's a lot of partying for you.
Oh, boy.
And you're the biggest partier here. Hey. But guys, look, what's special about, obviously it's special to see the Dolphins, but what's more special is being here with these guys right here, getting to see them. We're going to see Rob tomorrow, Dolphins, or you can get Rob tomorrow on DolphinsThirsty.com. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go check him out. Michael Brown is coming down. We'll get to see him of Bear Sports and whatever.
Another international get-together.
Another international get-together. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Here at Fanatic, we're going to
Yes, Manny. We're going to
Miss Fins.
everyone. I can't wait to see all of them.
But I can't wait to look up at another Big E.
That's right.
I heard he's pretty tall.
Pretty tall.
It makes me look short.
Guys, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you. If you haven't yet, you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Until then, we'll see you all tomorrow. Fins up.
Fins up.
If it doesn't, end it anyway.